There are many respectable parents, but there are also parents who take advantage of their children for personal gain. Harry and Meghan's parenting style is under scrutiny. Archie and Lilibet's absence from the public appears to be a concern for the two children. Will they be disappointed in their parents? How will they grow up if they have extremist parents like Meghan and Harry? Archie and Lilibet only appeared for seducing the media for Meghan. Even the theory that they are fake keeps repeating itself. Welcome back to Meghan's channel and the unique appeal of her pony teeth. Join us in lively discussions and explore fascinating topics together. I bet Meghan hates children, especially babies. There are women out there who do not like children, and I bet that to this day she has never changed Archie and Lilibet's diapers. When they went to a charity for disabled children, you could see how uncomfortable Meghan was talking to disabled children. I still remember a photo of Archie taken on his birthday. It's black and white, shot from behind, and shows him standing alone, with no one around, holding a few balloons. My first reaction was sadness, and the thought was, what a lonely boy. On the contrary, the birthday photo of Louis with his big grin, sparkling eyes, and hands covered in finger paint warmed my heart and made me smile for having a happy child. William and Catherine are doing the right thing, and Harry and Meghan are doing the opposite. If people see Meghan and Harry with their children, they are using them to make money. Otherwise, they are neglecting them. Comparing William and Catherine taking their children out and making money from them, it is not mentioned. They have made many billionaires. William and Kate also left without children, but that's okay. However, they are never seen by people or paparazzi doing anything normal, like eating out in a restaurant or at a zoo, not even Disneyland, nothing, as a family fun adventure. They've never been seen at a store or shopping. They've never been on vacation as a family. Meghan and Harry are awful parents. They wouldn't even be good pet parents. It's sad. I can see why people think that they don't exist. Sadly, in the world of very rich people, a lot of the actual parenting is delegated to employees first and then to schools. It's one reason they seem so cold to outsiders. They're trained as very small children not to be emotionally attached to their parents. Allegedly, Harry wanted to protect his kids from that, but then he married Meghan and all but ensured it. That's how most rich people raise their children, which is why I was so impressed with William and Catherine and decided to help their parents out to the point of being reported. The press and the public called him by name. They indeed have a nanny, but raising their children is not something they are authorized to do. What's shocking is how much of a deal Harry and Meghan made in raising their children, hiding information literally from birth, escaping on a freedom flight to save them, constantly missing events as parents, only to seemingly lock them up in Montecito and survive their lives. I see the drama in Sussex continuing into the next generation. Children need to be socialized if you expect them to understand, integrate, and behave in the world out there. One should also not forget how much children learn during their preschool years. They are like sponges that absorb everything, and we tend to forget that. And I love that William takes George out to play sports. It shows that the teaching jobs of William and Harry are completely different. Harry needs to learn from his older brother in raising children. I'm truly beginning to wonder if the real reason that you never see the kids with Meghan is the same as what happens to her when at events with children, they push her away. They look sad when forced to interact with her. They don't want to receive accommodations awards from her. If so many kids behave this way around her, I would imagine her own would act the same. Maybe it is because having them in public with her would show the world how she has no control over them and that they don't have this perfect relationship. I've heard stories of how the kids behave atrociously if she can't control them in public while making herself look like Mother Teresa. then it would only damage her reputation even more. Her narcissism can't have that. Or maybe Meghan doesn't love them because they are not her biological children, but just adopted children, using them to gain a reputation for yourself. I gotta go with not pregnant. She did things in her later pregnancy that were impossible to do. I don't care how flexible you are or how much yoga you do. In her 6-8 months of pregnancy, there were at least 3 times she squatted down, knees together, heels to butt, knees to chest, and heels. That's impossible to do. Up until that point, I was willing to give her the benefit of the doubt. But after those incidents, no way Jose was impossible to do. There's a baby there that isn't going to squish away. Also, the incident at the pound with the dogs, where if watched in slow-mo when she gets up from squatting to pet the dog, her stomach is not there. The one thing I've always wondered about is when she allegedly was pregnant and neither she nor he ever spoke about any cravings, or even her feet hurt or this or that, or she kept me awake because she wanted to eat this or that. Yet never a single word, ever. I never these children until June and I began thinking of this. For all new parents-to-be, it is almost a badge of honor to brag about stuff, as I stated above. Yet not a single word. The bad thing is that Harry complains about his own genetic pain, something he would never want to inflict on his children. He then married a narcissist. I love those 2 little people so much. The mental health summit showed them to be completely unprepared, self-absorbed, insensitive, condescending, and clueless, contributing nothing meaningful. Harry was also completely critical of his own family's parenting. He attacked Charles and repeatedly attacked William and Catherine, even suggesting they should let him raise George, Charlotte, and Louis. How quickly he tends to demonstrate such personal forgetfulness. Even better than that, how he too appears to be conducting himself in the same mannerism which he condones his father for. Even far more funnier than his claim of now King Charles not having been an active parent as Harry was growing up is the simple fact that he certainly had been, even when he had been busy carrying out his duties to the crown, to the Queen, to the horrible institution, including to those who are the Commonwealth. His doing such is what helped provide for the Winyas crybaby Harry as he was growing up. And yet, their constant consumption of media and exclusion of children from even activities that are completely suitable for children is showing once again that they are complete hypocrites in almost every area of life. I'm a full-time working mom, and I've never spent anything even close to the amount of time away from my kids that these 2 did. Photoshopped, altered, grainy photos. We see the children in controlled environments with pictures from the back. There are changing hair colors. Children who don't look the same in pictures. We don't see the children. It's ridiculous, but we didn't create this circus. Meghan and Harry did. They have the responsibility of stopping this. They could if they wanted to, so don't be giving people who have questions a hard time. There is also the line of succession issue. If these children either don't exist, do exist, or were born of a surrogate, the UK people have a right to know because they are in the line of succession. If she took them out of the line of succession and refused titles for them, that would be a completely different story. Then sure, no one has a right to know anything about them. They would be private citizens. Their mother did this to them. She made a big mystery about both of them. She insisted that they be in the line of succession. And not only that, but she insisted on prince and princess titles. They have no one to blame in the end but their mother and father for anything that has been said or doubted about them. Honestly, one can only hope and pray that once William, Prince of Wales, finally ascends the throne, that he will mandate that DNA be carried out on both of these so-called children. And if neither one nor both are not biologically theirs or had not been born of Yacht Girl's body, then he will see to it that neither one of not both are then removed from the line of succession, while also making certain that both so-called parents are also stripped of any titles. If not, at least see to it that the UK's Parliament sees to their stripping of anything which they may still hold title-wise. I'm sure that one day you will see that this whole kid stuff was made up. As the kids get older, it will become more and more difficult to hide the children. Showing off the first child, if you look at her bump, it's sideways and just doesn't look right. She gained weight, but her ankles were always very thin, and some of her movements were unconventional for her pregnancy. For all we know, she took steroids for a health issue. The whole leaving the UK had much to do with the cover-up of the kids. Living in the UK was going to make it nearly impossible to not have kids. Remember, with time, the truth will come out. They don't look like parents, and the children always have different faces because there aren't any. Just look at the birth announcements of the Wales kids, with 4 signatures of doctors present at the birth, and 0 signatures on Archie's announcement. As far as the weight gain and the narcissism during her pregnancy and after her pregnancy, let's not forget she is an actress. She might not be good, but she is a trained actress. There have been so many actors and actresses over the years who have lost a dramatic amount of weight and gained a dramatic amount of weight, all to play a part. It is very well within her means to have put on 10 or 15 pounds to pull this off. I don't find it beyond her. She wore those bumps religiously during the pregnancy when she was skinny as a rail. Her legs, her arms, her face, and then suddenly at the end when she delivers and shows her son to the public, she's all puffy and big and looks postpartum. Another likely scenario is that the kids are there as an expectation and accessory, not because they wanted kids per se. The narcissists prefer their own lives despite having children. They do what they want. I think that they can do what they want, showing or not showing the kids. However, I have a feeling that she keeps them away for a reason, which is marketing and feeding the narrative. Surrogacy is a very likely scenario. It can also be hard to bond when the baby comes from someone else. It's not the same. The Kardashians address the difficulty of bonding with their surrogate child. All her actions lead me to believe it is a surrogate, not the body. Remember, she has no problem lifting her arm to show a blue sticker in a parking lot. A vain narc doesn't shy away from this chance unless she has something to hide. All roads lead to surrogate or non-existent kids. Failing to see human behavior is ridiculous. Another likely scenario is that the kids are there as an expectation and accessory, not because they wanted kids per se. The narcissists prefer their own lives despite having children. They do what they want. The issue with these kids is that for at least the next 10-15 years, they will remain high in the line of succession. They are being raised in a different country with 0 connection to the line they are a part of, learning nothing of the traditions and values of the monarchy. If anything happened to Wales, they would rise right up, but no one knew who they were or what their personalities were like. Charles needed to apply for a letters patent to stipulate that the children in line should be educated in England. I don't particularly want that family here, but if he wants the monarchy to remain credible, he needs to at least ensure that those in the ranks have a rudimentary understanding of what it means. She will wait until they grow up a bit and use them as props to attract media attention. It's sad to think that children do not get to know their British family. They grow up as complete strangers to them, and this is because of Meghan. Do you remember when the Queen passed away, didn't they abandon the children for almost 2 weeks? And the kids are even younger now. I can't imagine abandoning my children like that. Meghan wasn't even wanted there, but she had to show the world her fake sadness towards the Queen, whose life had made her miserable. In today's mass media, it comes off as strange and rather odd. Hopefully, Harry and Meghan start doing some things with their children in public and stop with the emoji heads. It is ridiculous and uncalled for. These children are certainly important, but not on the same level as William and Catherine's kids. Maybe part of the problem is Meghan's kids don't look a lot like her. She's so vain that I'm sure it's an issue for her. The blood of Windsor is sometimes very strong. The issue of them not appearing biracial was an issue for Meghan, especially after she brought up the whole issue of what her baby would look like. Remember, she accused someone in the royal family of asking the color of their child's skin. It became a firestorm for Harry and Meghan. They will have to deal with it sooner or later. Otherwise, you will face brutal attacks from the media and the public. Poor kids, they don't know how to behave when appearing in public. I'm also really disappointed with Harry's parenting style. He knows what it's like to grow up with questions about his existence. There are still those who believe he is not Charles' son and always will be, and that must be very painful to him, and he has to deal with that for the rest of his life. I think the fact that he could essentially allow the same thing to happen to his child is terrible. No matter what is said or what happens, they will never be able to completely escape the rumors that will haunt them for the rest of their lives, and it will be very painful. And Harry's children will also be affected by their psychologically scarred father. Reflecting on the issues we've just discussed, I believe it opens up a fascinating array of perspectives and deepens our understanding. Your opinions are incredibly valuable as they enrich our discussions and help us approach topics from various angles. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and share this video. Your support is a powerful motivator for us to continue improving and delivering more insightful content. Thank you, and I look forward to our next encounter. Take care.